Hi, this is Bob from the AMD World Championship. We're here today in Sturgis 2010, and I have Larry with me from Trikes. Larry has come up with a really pretty unique combination, nice tight trike with a big V8 engine in it. Larry, this is really unique and a little different from some of the other trikes I've seen. Can you tell us a little bit about what your design objectives or your inspiration for this particular trike was?
My inspiration came from the 1965 Indy cars that came over and raced at Indianapolis and other tracks, rear engine racers. I thought that would look great with as a trike, with a Harley front end on it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the design, obviously, of this frame and chassis design. This is not something that you can go pick up anyplace else. You have everything kind of really nice and compact. What did it take to put together this chassis and figure out the right configuration and then combine this beautiful independent suspension with it?
Well, I started with the engine and the transaxle and built the frame around it. It's a three-piece frame. That's basically it, and then I just put it all together.
This, there's some different solid mount rear ends versus independent suspension. Why have you chosen the independent suspension?
With the transaxle, you need an independent suspension. That's the reason I went with that. The suspension is all handmade, and took 2 times, and I finally got it right.
Well, 2 times doesn't seem bad at all for something such a unique project. Let's talk a little bit about the engine. What type of engine, kind of power, intake? Why did you choose this particular V8, and what do we got going on here?
Well, it's a 289 Mustang engine, bored and stroked to 347 cubic inches. Got 430 horsepower. The intake is a Shelby Cobra intake with 48 IDA Webers, 4 carburetors. The oil pan is a 289 FIA Racing oil pan from 65.
So what about horsepower? What kind of numbers are we talking?
It's got 430 horsepower.
I bet that moves this down the street pretty fast. This probably can't weigh much more than 1,800 pounds.
Weighs about 1,350. There's only 300 pounds in the front end, so I have to be real careful with it. The transaxle is double overdrive BMW M1, and it's good for about 230 miles an hour.
All right, well, really appreciate your taking your time to come by, and of course your entry into the AMD World Championship. Something that's so unique and not really have done before in this type of configuration. How long did it take you to build this trike?
It took me 4 years. I started in 2004 and was all done in 2008, but I've been adding safety features since then.
All right, well, geez, looks like you're really dedicated to this project, obviously spending 4 years to come up with the finished product. We're really pleased that you decided to enter into the AMD World Championship, and we hope to see you again next year, Larry. Thanks for taking your time to talk with us today.
Thank you much.
Suzuki, and you are watching the AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building vidcast. We are sponsored in part by Big Dog Motorcycles, Crane Cams, and S&S.